renewable energy space and start doing business, either as independent power producers or as suppliers of these accessories that are used in terms of providing electricity to our people. We have also done feed-in tariff studies, basically to inform the investors in terms of what it costs for them to bring these technologies to the public. So we do studies every 5 years to just highlight, to say, if you want to do solar, this is the expectation that if you are bringing such a capacity, this is how much you should be investing, this is the cost of the energy that you then should be selling to the public or to the utility or to any customer of your own choice. Speaking to that, we have also done issues to do with market reforms. If you look at in the past, we used to have only one entity that used to operate in the electricity sector, which was ZERA. But since 2002, we opened up the electricity sector through the Electricity Act, which then allowed other entities or private sector participation in the electricity sector. And we are happy to report that we have had several players now, or licensed entities that are now operating in the electricity sector. So market reforms is also one of the areas that we have done as a regulator to ensure that we have opened it up, allowing private sector to invest, and also to allow companies to also invest and generate electricity for their own consumption. The permanent secretary has spoken to that. And we have also extended that opening up to even household levels. That's why she spoke to the issues of net metering, which we have now allowed members of the public to also install generators or solar systems for their own consumption, and that excess capacity, when they are not utilizing their solar system during the day, to then export that excess capacity to the grid and then bank those units, which they will then be able to utilize in the evening when their solar systems are not generating anything. So net metering is part of the regulations that we have actually come up with. And we are happy to report that at the beginning, when we started net metering, we had kept the capacity to 100 kilowatts. But with the consultations and the interaction that we have had with the beneficiaries of these systems, which is the industries, we have increased that capacity to 5 megawatts. So that's why we find a lot of renewable energy or solar systems that are coming up mainly as a result of the opening up of that threshold up to 5 megawatts. So we now have systems as small as 5 kilowatts and up to 5 megawatts of installed capacity participating on this platform. Also, through the Ministry of Environment, they've also created the carbon markets. So you find that apart from the renewable players that have been licensed or the private sector that are participating in this, they are also now benefiting from the carbon markets, where they are able then to sell part of those carbon credits they accrue from the renewable energy projects they have implemented. So that's also another positive from a regulatory point of view, where basically we will now have a framework which actually defines what kind of projects benefit from the carbon markets, and us also being able to track which projects are being done and benefiting from the funds that are available on the global platform in terms of the carbon markets. There was one challenge which the PS did allude to in terms of the proliferation of substandard products on the market. And as the regulator and other stakeholders that we have engaged with, we have actually come up with the energy products and installation regulations. So these regulations are meant to correct that challenge of us having substandard products on the market, as well as also unqualified people doing business or doing work in the solar sector without proper qualifications. So we are hoping that once these regulations are promulgated, we will then be enforcing that. But what we have done to date so far is to ensure that we capacitate our officials to be able to then identify those products that are substandard. So we've already procured equipment. We are already using that equipment to conscientize and inform the retailers. Because sometimes it's not the problem of the retailer or the guy who is selling these products, but it's the people who are selling this, where they are importing these products. So they don't tell them the truth about the warranty or the guarantees that these products can last to. So we're actually using our equipment to then inform these retailers to say these are the standards that we have in the country, and these are the tests that will be undertaken on your equipment, so that they are also informed when they go out there to procure their equipment. So we are hoping that This is going to curb the aspect of substandard products on the market. We have also done a project where we have created a platform to register all solar products and accessories. So before you even go out to procure any product to sell on the market, you actually go on our product registration system where you then identify the product that you want to go and import, whether it meets the quality or the specifications and the standards that we want in our country, so that you also then avoid that aspect of buying substandard products. So there's a product registration system which we have already created, which we have also opened up to the retailers to then also register their products which they are selling, so that they are also logged in, and that this also help us as we also do the conformity-based compliance assessment, the CBCA, which mandates that products that are coming into the country, before they are shipped, they are supposed to be tested. So we will be engaging with the Ministry of Industry to ensure that additional products are put on that CBCA list, so that these products in terms of solar are then also tested before they actually come into the country. So CBCA product registration is something that we are also doing to ensure that we protect the consumers, the end consumers of these solar products. And what we have also done as part of the regulations that will be coming out soon is the issue of the minimum energy performance standards. I think if you walk around into the shops, you'll see refrigerators labeled A or B. That's product registration in terms of energy efficiency. So minimum energy efficiency is something that we've also been forcing to ensure that products that are now being sold are also energy efficient, to support the renewable aspect as well as the energy efficient side of things. And this is on the domestic consumer, because domestic consumers, you cannot specify what you want. You just walk into a shop, identify the product that you want. So we are making sure that the retailers or those that are selling these products, refrigerators, air conditioners, televisions, are labeled in terms of how efficient are they in terms of energy consumption. So it will be mandatory for all products that are electrical to have that energy efficiency label on them. We've done that through the lighting products, and I'm here to report that 100% of our lighting products that are now on the market are energy efficient. Madam Pierce talked to the issue of the LED lights. That we have managed to do through ensuring that the products are labeled, and also having proper regulations that ban inefficient lighting products. So we are also now extending that to other appliances, which include refrigerators, televisions, as well as air conditioning. And for the industrial and commercial entities, what we are now will be enforcing are energy management regulations, basically where they are supposed to then undertake energy audits within their premises, and then identify where they can actually save energy consumption, be it in terms of steam, be it in terms of the motors they are using. So there are a host of activities they can actually do in terms of energy management. And to that effect, we will be undertaking another national energy efficiency audit this year. We last did our energy efficiency audit in 2014, where we actually identified that we would actually save about 300 megawatts of capacity. So we are actually going to be undertaking another study this year to actually see how much savings we can actually do in terms of energy management in the industrial side. And then lastly, issues of mini grids. We are currently working on a regulation and framework that is going to be looking at mini grids, mainly focusing in terms of the standards that should be actually be deployed in those mini grids, as well as also issues to do with integration of the mini grids and the existing grid, should the grid encroach or should the grid extend and meet the mini grids. So this is going to give guidance to the mini grid developers and give them comfort to say once the grid encroaches, there are different models that you can then utilize, whether you continue with your mini grid or you hand over the mini grid to the utility for operation and maintenance. And you as an investor, you will not be shortchanged or you won't be losing out. So these are some of the regulations that we are working on to ensure that we actually increase participation in the renewable energy sector, just to add on top of what Madam Pierce did speak to, but I think she did highlight